We're coming to the end. We had 106 people in the Pick'em League. I think we started with like 112, 113. Of course, people drop out as the year goes. I can't really control that. So, what I can do is I can control the rest of the people who are still participating, right? So, let's go ahead and show the results first of how everybody did for just strictly week 16, right? 16 weeks in. We had some people, of course, that went double digits. Don't get me wrong. We had some people that went 12-4. Some that went 13-3. Shout out to Desert Eagle, who's been really just fucking killing it on his picks. He went a rocking 14-2 this week. Aaron, who went 13-3, came out of the middle of nowhere. Michael Liss, 13-3. That division in Division 8 is getting really competitive as soon as I, show you guys the results. And, the tournament champions is kicking off to another good season. It's been getting really competitive this year, and people are really putting their sort of best foot forward in terms of competing. And I got to give you guys props. I went 12-4, of course. I picked the Colts to win the night, and they didn't. The 49ers kind of mollywopped them. And before I show the screen for the overall records, let me reverse it. Not bad. Sometimes you got to redo the lens a little bit. Let's go to the results. And of course, you're going to see all these beautiful colors on here. And you're going to be like, what are these colors? Green, purple, red, blue. And we'll go ahead and break all that down. So the results for week 16 when you add all the picks together. Like I said, it's very competitive. It is coming down to the wire. People are fighting to stay on the board. People are fighting for their playoff lives. People are fighting to make a name for themselves and trying to win. Eagles fan for life, for example. Him and Duke have been battling it out, man, and it could come down to that final week where they are going to battle it out with each other. Aaron and Kenneth, they keep swapping every division, and it's just, they can't hold on to it. Green Bay Chris not only took Jesus, he's got a one-game lead, but look at that division for Division 8. Ravens Red Zone. Michael Liss. Jesus. Green Bay Chris all within a 2-game spread. That means one of them four have the opportunity to win that division, and it's very competitive. JL 103's got a little 5-game lead, so I got to give him credit for that. J Love, 2-time defending champion. Well, he's not defending champion, but he's won 2 titles. He came back because he said he's greedy. He wants a third. That's just the Donald Trump in him, I guess. Division 11, Laporte's got a little bit of a cushion, but he could lose that. Could lose that. Kim 123 is barely hovering on. And Division, of course, the best record in the league. Gabriel, the Pats fan, give him a shout out. 169 wins, 71 losses with still 2 weeks to go. Danny Golden has clinched his division based on the fact that everybody else is in elimination rounds. Danny Golden is the only division leader out of 16 divisions that had clinched his division going into this week. So give Danny Golden a shout out for that. Of course, there I am in second place in my division. I'm 3 games behind Ted C. And last but not least, you got Tanya reclaiming that gold, baby. She's now the division leader in the women's division. So, of course, people are going to be asking why the beautiful colors. Is it Christmas? Is that what it is? Well, I mean, yeah, of course, Christmas is coming this week. Yeah, we can say that. But no, the names in black are people that have avoided the elimination rounds. So if your name's in black, you still got to do your picks like it's just a normal, regular week. Simple as that. If your names are in red and blue, you are competing on Wednesday. Best of 3 on Christmas Day. The blue names in blue are the higher seeds. The names in red are the lower. And you will be competing. The bottom 16 with the worst records have to compete on Wednesday. If your name's in green, which there are a bunch of names in green here, you will be competing on Saturday, the best of 3. And I'll show you the playoff brackets. It'll be a best of 3 with 1 college game added because there's 2 NFL games on Saturday. I think it's Texans, Chargers, Ravens, Packers, and then I added the BYU and Georgia Tech game. So it's going to be a very competitive. That game go either way. So it's going to be some good games. And then, of course, Sunday, if your name's in purple, like Brandon Rogers, Bathurst, C.G. Bully, John Frierson, J.D. Court, Herbert, Troy, Noel, Reese, Adrian McLeod, and, of course, still pinning because there's people that need to advance in these earlier rounds to fill up the rest of the spots. You guys are going to be competing on Sunday in a best of 11. 10 of the games are on Sunday with 1 Monday Night Football game. Now let's go show the playoff brackets. So that way we don't confuse anybody. Let's go ahead and go the first round. Again, Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, I don't know. I need to put a Christmas tree up. I need to get one. So Christmas Day, it's the best of three. If your name's on the list, ho, 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 you're competing to stay on the board. 16 of you, 8 of you are going home. The name's in blue, you get to pick 2 out of 3 of the games, and then you give your opponent the teams you don't want, and then your opponent picks the final game. You each get 3 teams. The winner who wins 2 games or more advances. The loser is done for the year. It's kind of simple, right? Simple mathematics. So there's 3 games on Wednesday. In the first, if you're a blue, your name's in blue, you get first dibs to pick the 2 games you want. So you kind of give your opponent the 2 teams you don't want. And then you give your opponent the game that you can't pick because it's probably the hardest game on the board. And you let your opponent pick their poison. So there's kind of an advantage of being the higher seed there. You gotta have first dibs on the picks. So not only are you picking your team, but you're giving your opponent the other team. So if there's a team where they may have an injured starting quarterback or something, and he's a star quarterback, then it's going to be in your poker position to not pick that team. You're going to give your opponent that team. So you kind of have a little bit of an advantage there. There's an advantage to being, the higher seed is what they want to say. Now let's go ahead and go to you have to join next year because it's kind of late. We're already real late in the season right now. We're already, what is it, week 16? Yeah, if you want to join, you have to join next year. I got a Facebook group page. I got my YouTube where I post the results and stuff. And we do other leagues. This is just one of them. I do college football, Major League Baseball. We're doing soccer next year for the first time ever, even though I'm not really a fan of soccer, but I'm going to do the World Cup because we're getting the World Cup here next year. And we do NBA. We do the in-league cup. We just had a champion for there. And then we're doing the NBA for the Larry O'Brien Trophy in March, starting in March. So yeah, we got college football. I got about 5 or 6 different pick'em leagues right now. This is just the biggest one right here is the NFL. This is the one where I get most of the people that join in the hundreds. Most of my pick'em leagues is about 40 to 50 people, give or take. 40 to 50. I think for NBA we had like 56. Like that was the most I ever for NBA pick'em league. Usually I usually get like 30, 40 plus, but this year I had a lot of people that signed up. So, okay. So that being said, the 8 losers of this are done for the year. The 8 winners advance. We're going to go to round 2. Round 2 is Saturday, December 27th. It's a best of 3. Like I said, it's Chargers, Texans, Packers, Ravens, and we got to add a college football game. I added the one that I think was the most fairest, which was BYU and Georgia Tech. It can go either way. Both teams are ranked top 25. I think one's ranked 13, one's ranked 22nd or something like that. So I just said I think that was the best fair matchup. Other than that, LSU, Texas, LSU at Houston was another one, but LSU's kind of unranked. So I said, I don't know if I want to do that one. Plus, there will be 2 Houston games on Saturday, Texans and Cougars, and that could mess it up on the picks. Somebody picks Houston, which one? And we're going to get a little confusing. So I decided I'm going to leave that game out. I'll just add the BYU Georgia Tech game as the third game. So, NFL round 2, December 27th, it is the best of 3. If your name's on this list, you don't have to play in the first round on Wednesday. So you kind of got like a little break. I'll send your games out probably Friday morning, and I'm going to collect them Friday night. It's the same rules apply. If your name's in blue, you're the higher seed because you have a higher amount of wins. And you accumulated points that separated tiebreakers. If your name's in red, you're the lower seed. Doesn't mean you're going to lose. It just means that you're only going to get to pick the one game left over that they left you. Essentially your opponent left you. And so, and every matchup's different. Not everybody's going to pick the same 2 games. Some may pick the college game and an NFL game. Some may pick both the NFL games and leave their opponent the college game to pick. It just really depends. Everybody's different. So some people on here are college heads, so they may pick that Georgia Tech BYU game, and then some say, "Nah, I'm just going to pick the NFL games. I'll let him pick that one." So the idea at this stage of the game is you want to leave your opponent the harder games to pick, the games that go either way. Now, of course, that could vary between each matchup. Some people may know who's going to win a certain game, and then to another matchup, that person may be confused, and that game may be the game they may leave their opponent. So it always varies. You know, not everyone's going to pick the same two teams. Some are, some aren't. You know, it's a best of three, same thing. The 8 winners that advance from Wednesday will fill up these spots here. And we're going to eliminate 16 people on Saturday, along with the 8 on Christmas. So if your name's in blue, you get to pick some tough choices. You know, you're going to have Texans, Chargers, Packers, Ravens. You're going to have BYU, Georgia Tech. So you're going to pick 2 of those games, and you're going to leave your opponent the third one. Now, the game to me that's going to be the most confusing is probably that college game, but Texans, Chargers can go either way too. They both have identical records. Ravens at Packers. I mean, Packers are probably heavily favored, but the Ravens still kind of in playoff contention, so I'm pretty sure they're going to try. So there's going to be some if you're the higher seed, I mean, you're going to be probably having to think a lot on these games, man. It's going to be some tough ones because these games are tougher than the Wednesday's games. That's for sure. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get the names out there. So if you're Eddie, Greg, Brandon Lott, McGrath, Melantis, Seth, Lane, Austin, Freddie, Julius, Pedro, Cedric, Corey, Solisses, Joe Titania, and Rappel, you're good. And then, of course, if you're Austin and the other guys, you're in the lower seed. You got to wait for your opponent to make. And, of course, these are still pinning. So once these 16 are eliminated, the 16 advance. They're going to go to Sunday, round 3, which is a best of 11. There's 10 games on Sunday and 1 on Monday Night Football. So this round's going to be a lot larger. So what does that mean? You're going to make more picks. So if your name's in blue, same rules apply. You're going to be picking 6 out of the 11 matchups. You're going to give your opponent the 6 teams that you feel are going to lose, and then your opponent then gets to pick the 5 remaining games you leave them. Now, the names are in blank because we have to wait for the previous rounds to play out so we can fill these boxes up. We're going to be eliminating 14 people on Sunday, along with the 16 on Saturday, along with the 8. That's going to be a total of 38 people are going to be eliminated this week out of 106. So that means we'll be down to what, 70, 68, somewhere around there? Something like that, 66, I think. Then we're going to go to the next round. Oh, actually, no, the next round's down here. Week 18, the final week of the season. January 4th, best of 13. 13 games. If you're 45 through 54, which we'll find out after this week, you will be on here, and I'll update that, of course. And then the winners from the previous round will advance in these boxes, and you guys will compete for the final play-in round, which will be round 4. After that is over, we will head to the NFL playoffs. 56 people will head to the NFL playoffs out of 106. The rest of them will be gone. And we'll be eliminated. So if you're in the top 28 finishers, which that means if you're a top 16 division winner, plus the top 12 wild cards, you will receive a first round. You will receive an additional bye. You won't have to play on Saturday. Ranks 29 through 44, and the winners of the Week 18 will be here in a best of 3. Sunday will be round 2, wild card Sunday. Best of 3 will be another round. If you're ranked 15 through 28, which that means you have to be the top 2 worst division winners, followed by all the wild cards, the top 12, will have to compete on Sunday, but at least you're the higher seed and you get to pick 2 out of 3 of those games for the Sunday wild card. Winners will advance, loser goes home. Pretty much the same logic how I do all my tournaments when it comes to playoff picks. Higher seeds get first dibs and they get a chance to pick more games. That's how it works. So if you're lower seed, you're kind of giving your teams. Doesn't mean you can't win. It just means the odds are stacked against you, and it's a lot harder as the cards stack. So Brandon Rogers, I saw you just came in. Your round begins on Sunday, and you have 10 games on Sunday, followed by 1 on Monday. You're not picking Saturdays or Wednesdays games. You're pretty much off until Sunday. I'll send the games out Saturday morning, start collecting them by Saturday night. And then, of course, you're going to have to wait for whoever
your opponent is to then make their 5 picks, you leave them. So if you want to go and look on ESPN, I'm about to do the picks anyway. You can kind of get an idea of what your games are going to be and what the 6 you're going to make, and then you leave your opponent 5. And that's pretty much from there. So yeah, once we get to the NFL rounds, like I said, only 56 get in this year. And so we have the first 2 rounds, wild card Saturday, wild card Sunday. And then, of course, divisional round Saturday will be the Monday night football game of wild card, followed by 2 divisional round games Saturday. Same rules apply if you're ranked 5 through 14. You got to bye for the wild card round. So just keep that in mind. The winners advance to NFL divisional round Sunday, which will be the 18th 2 NFL games, and the 19th, which will be the national championship game of the final college game. Best of 3. 1 through 4, if you finish top 4, you get 3-round bye in the NFL playoffs. So you're off wild card Saturday, Sunday. You're off divisional round Saturday. And you just compete on Sunday. You'll have 4 there, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 12 spots will be open. That'll be the Sweet 16, basically. Now, we have to, of course, get to the rest of the remaining rounds, which will be a best of 1 after that point. Once we get to the final 8, it'll be a best of 1. With the higher seeds, they get to pick whichever the first game is on the board, which is the NFC or AFC championship game. Whatever you pick, that's your team for that game. Your opponent gets the opposing team. Once the game is complete, the final 4 advance to the following game, which will be the second game of that day. AFC, NFC, same rules apply. Top 2 of the higher seeds get to pick who they want. Lower seeds are given their team. 1 game, winner take all. Then those 2 advance to the Super Bowl. Same thing. The higher seed picks who they want. Lower seeds given the other team, and winner takes all. That's it. Pretty much self-explanatory. It's this is the week here. We're starting Christmas Day. We're going to eliminate 8 people are going home after Christmas. So somebody's going to be somebody's going to get a lump of coal after Wednesday night, and 8 of you are going to get a present. So your present is you get to advance to Saturday to play in another best of 3. The 8 of you that are going home, you get to go home with a special lump of coal for Christmas. Get a lump of coal. Yeah. Well, I'm just glad I'm not in those elimination rounds. Thank fucking God. I got at least a little bit of a bye. But I might have to play in week 18, though. Unless I somehow find a way to shoot up in the standings. Which is now going to lead me to my picks. Let's go. Let's get them. Week 18. Week 17. We got 2 weeks left. Let's go to the Christmas game. Christmas. All right. Cowboys and Commanders, and both teams are eliminated. Jaden Daniels has been deactivated. Dak Prescott says it don't matter if you're eliminated. You still got to play. You know, I like his heart. I do. Dak's heart's in the right place. And I think because he doesn't want the Cowboys to cut him. So I think this is kind of why he's doing this. He's kind of like saying, okay, I heard y'all are going to get rid of me. Please don't. I'm trying my best, man. Well, I mean, I like Dak. His heart's in the right place, but his talent level says otherwise. He's not the same, but I still think they're better than the Commanders. Give me the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott to defeat the Commanders. Detroit at Minnesota. Now, Detroit's fighting for a playoff spot. Minnesota's playing for bragging rights. McCarthy's come back. He's playing lights out. The Detroit Lions are kind of stumbling, fumbling. This is going to be a good division game. I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to play spoiler here. Give me Minnesota to upset the Detroit Lions and get the win over the Lions. Denver at Kansas City. Mahomes is out. The Chiefs are done. It's as simple as that. The Broncos, I know they lost to Jacksonville, but that was kind of a little bit of expected because Jacksonville's not that bad this year. They're pretty good. And they're going to win the AFC South. But nonetheless, I think Denver gets, they get their mojo back. And they go into Kansas City and Arrowhead, and they stomp those Kansas City Chiefs down one more time. Give me Denver to beat the Chiefs on Christmas. Let's go to Saturday. Next game is Texans at the Chargers. This is a good game of the week. Texans defense is looking good. I heard they're number 1. And they're looking damn good at 10-5. I think we've won 5 in a row. 5, 6 in a row? It's crazy. Well, we're heading against the Chargers, who are also 11-4, winners of 4 straight. This is going to be a tough game. It's going to be battle tested here because both teams are playing for something. I think, if you're Chargers, you still have a chance for that division. And if you're Texans, you still have a chance for the division, plus, trying to clinch a playoff spot or whatnot. I think it's going to be a close game. But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Chargers to barely nudge the Texans, 26-25. Give me the Chargers. Ravens of the Packers. Well, I say it to you like this. Lamar Jackson's, it looks like no one's really afraid of playing him anymore. There's that fear factor when Lamar Jackson's playing. I don't know if his talent skills are diminishing or what's going on, but the Ravens just ain't got it this year. Give me the Packers at home. Give me Green Bay. Sunday, Cardinals at the Bengals. Well, both teams look like shit. Both teams are not playing well. Congratulations to Jacoby Brissett for throwing for 3,000 yards. Well, he's 89 yards short. He's going to get it this week. But it doesn't matter. They're not. The Bengals are just, I think, far more superior than the Cardinals. Give me the Bengals. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Do I need to really explain more? No. Pittsburgh Steelers are playing pretty good football right now. Give me Aaron Rodgers, who's 23 touchdowns for the year. And he's 140 yards shy of 3,000. Give me the Steelers over the Browns. Saints at the Titans. Both teams suck. Both teams are fighting for a high draft pick. The Titans have been playing a little bit better. But the Saints have been playing pretty good football. They've won 3 in a row. And they look damn good doing it. Give me New Orleans to go in Tennessee to beat the Titans. Jacksonville at the Colts. Phillip Rivers was a good come-up story. Like the guy personally. This case too little too late. Jacksonville's going to put them out of their misery. Give me Jacksonville to beat the Colts. Tampa Bay at Miami. They say they got to be a trap game. And I smell a trap game. I think the Miami Dolphins upset Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay's been playing like shit. I know Dolphins aren't that much better, but I think Dolphins can actually win at home against the Bucs. Give me Miami to defeat the Bucs in an upset. Patriots at Jets. Patriots are... they should have lost to the Ravens on Sunday night, but they came back and won. I'll give them credit to that. They're going to the Jets. The Jets, I'm sorry, you don't have a chance, brother. Patriots are trying to play for the number 1 seed. They have something to play for. You don't. You're playing for a tank job. Give me New England to defeat the Jets. Seattle at Carolina. This is going to be a good game. Panthers are trying to stay ahead of the Bucs. And, of course, the Seattle Seahawks are trying to remain the number 1 team. This is going to be a good game. Don't get me wrong. I think the Panthers are going to play the Seahawks pretty tough. I think they're going to get with them, defensively. It could be a low-scoring game. I'm serious, maybe the final score, 12-10 or some shit like that. But I think Seattle, it's more important for them to win than it is for Carolina necessarily, because I think Carolina's still going to win their division. Because Tampa Bay is that bad. Go ahead and give me the Seahawks to win and wrap up the number 1 seed. Even though I don't think they wrap it up technically, but I think that win will sort of solidify them to get that. But give me Seattle 12-10. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Giants at Raiders, both 2-13. Jesus fucking Christ. The Giants are 0-8 on the road. The Raiders only won 1 game at home. They both look like shit, don't they? Well, one man's trash is another man's treasure. But what treasure are you really getting from those pesky Raiders when there's no gold? Nonetheless, the Giants are terrible as well. Furthermore, I'm just going to go ahead and pick the home team because I don't know who else to pick. So give me the Oakland Raiders. I still call them the Oakland Raiders. Forgive me. I still call them the Raiders. Oakland Raiders. I don't know why. Philadelphia Eagles at Buffalo Bills. This is possibly a Super Bowl preview Because at the beginning of the season, I had Eagles and Bills in the Super Bowl. I might end up eating those words. This is going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be 25 degrees. It's going to be raining. It's going to be a sleet of snow. Oh, it's going to be a good game. But nonetheless, when you get confused, what do? You pick the home team. I'm going to go Buffalo to beat the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles, they don't really have to win any more games. They already got their division wrapped. They already know they're not going to get the number 1 seed. So it's really not that important. The Bills, on the other hand, they have a slight chance to take their division. And I mean, if they can somehow find a way to get New England to lose a couple games, they might have a chance. Give me the Bills. Bills are looking impressive at the end of this year. You got the Chicago Bears and San Francisco 49ers. This is a Sunday night football. Sunday night! Caleb Williams, 3,400 yards for the year, 23 touchdowns and 6 INTs. But Christian McCaffrey looks real nice out there. He's almost got 1,000 yards rushing for the year and 5 touchdowns on 86 receptions. This is going to be a very tough game. Probably the hardest game on the schedule. The Bears, I think they're still playing for their division, if I'm correct, even though they got the slight lead over the Packers. I don't know how that tiebreaker works because the Packers got an easy game, in my opinion, against the Ravens on Saturday. But nonetheless, the Bears have already clinched the playoff spot. The Niners have already gotten in because of the Lions loss. So this is a tough game. It could go, honestly, either way. I expect to score like 26-23. It wouldn't surprise me if this is an overtime game. This game has that much potential. And I think the NFL did a good job in scheduling this game to be that Sunday night game, by the way. But when you get confused, you just go with the home team. I'm going to pick the 49ers. But it's a 26-23 overtime game. It's not going to be anything like a blowout or nothing. But it's going to be a damn good game. Monday night, wow. Snooze fest. Rams at Falcons. Rams. Rams, of course. So we'll go into a recap of what I picked. Just kind of speed through it. I got Cowboys over the Commanders for Christmas. The Vikings to put out the pesky Lions as my upset. More like a trap game. No, upset. Upset. Broncos to defeat the Chiefs. I mean, there's no question. Without Mahomes, they don't have a chance. Even with Mahomes, I still think they're going to win. Chargers over the Texans. I think they're going to nip us barely. Edges like 20, I'm going to say like 28-27. Packers to just torch the Ravens. Think they're done. Saturday's game. Sundays, shit show, shit fest. Cardinals, Bengals. I'm going to go ahead and pick again. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bengals. Steelers over the Browns. Saints to beat the Titans and somehow figure out a way to get 4 in a row. Saints been looking good lately, man. Jaguars to put out those Colts. My upset, Dolphins over the Packers. Patriots over Jets. Seahawks to edge the Panthers. Raiders over the Giants. Bills over the Eagles. Niners over the Bears. And Rams over the Falcons. And those are my picks for week 17. We got 1 week left. And good luck to everybody in the Pick'em League. 106 people. 38 of you are going home after these 3 rounds are complete for this week. 8 of you are going home on Christmas Day. Out of the 16 of you here, 8 of you are going home. On Saturday, 16 of you are going home. Sunday, 14 of you are going home. And on the final week of the regular season, which is right here, another 14 of you are going home. So 50 people are going to get eliminated in these elimination rounds in the next 2 weeks. We're going to go from 106 to 56 for the NFL playoffs. It's going fast. This is now what's the word I want to use? This is the Super Bowl. You know, we've been doing our picks all this year to get to this point. All this year to get to this point. If your names are in black, yeah, it's almost over. Yeah. If your names are in black, you still have to do your picks like I did. I'm one of them. And of course, I'll send the picks out tomorrow to you guys that are still in the pick 'em process, which are the top 60. Well, anybody ranked 54, first place to 54. So 54 of you are still doing your picks like it's just a normal week. The rest of you got to wait for your day for your picks. So if you're on Sunday, you don't do Saturdays or Thursdays picks. If you send me your picks, I'm just going to ignore them. Just heads up. If you're on Thursday, you got to do your picks like the process. The 8 of you that are eliminated, your season's over. I will no longer be collecting picks from you. The 8 that advance, you will be in round 2. You'll fill up these spots, and then along with the rest of the people that are waiting for you, they'll all be competing. We'll be doing the picks, same format, best of 3, higher seeds in blue, get to pick 2 out of 3, lower seeds in reds given the 1 game. Then they pick the final game, and then you each get 3 teams. The winner to win 2 or more advances, the loser goes home. 16 of you get eliminated. I will no longer be getting picks from you guys either. And same thing with the guys up here on Sunday. This round's going to be bigger. The first 2 rounds are best of 3. This round's best of 11. Is round 3. And round 4 is a best of 13. So these are really going to be the only 2 big rounds. Every other round after that is a best of 3, except when we get to the final 8. The final 8, best of 1. Final 4, best of 1. Super Bowl, best of 1. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's just me relaying the information out and getting the information out so that way everybody's on the same understanding and in advance. I couldn't wait. Today was the last day because I got to collect picks tomorrow for Christmas, for the day before Christmas. So I know, like, holy shit, I actually got to do these fucking picks, bruh. You know? Like, holy shit. Actually, technically, I don't have to collect picks till Thursday. I don't know why I got Wednesday on there. I think I might be on crack. Let me see. No, it's on Thursday. So technically, I don't have to collect picks till Wednesday. What was I thinking? Not tomorrow. I don't have to collect picks till Wednesday. Okay, bet. That's cool. All right, bet. And then as far as the rest of these are Saturday games, so I'll be collecting picks Friday for that. And then Sunday, I'll be collecting picks Saturday for these. So, yeah, that's it. Good luck to you guys. I hope that, this is part of the year I hate eliminating people. I hate doing it. I really don't. I don't like eliminating people. But it's just this part of the process. We're only going to have one winner. And then we're at that time now where we got to start eliminating people, start cutting people out. I don't want to do it. It pains me this part of the year. I wish I can crown everybody a champion. All 106, but I just can't do that. At the end of the day, we're only going to have one winner out of 106 people. Yeah, Dashy, you avoided the first 3 rounds of elimination. So therefore, you just do your picks for the week like it's just a normal week. But however, you have to avoid the final week, the week 17, which it's anybody ranked, I think it's 54 through 45. So the worst 9 records of the final 54 will have to compete in week 18. So if you just don't finish in the bottom 9 after this week, you're good. Then you can avoid it. You'll just be doing your picks again. That's the beauty of it, man. Just trying to stay on the board. Trying to avoid as many elimination rounds as you can. That's really the sort of the science behind it. You want to avoid as many elimination rounds as possible. If you're a top 4, you're avoiding 4 elimination rounds, followed by 3 rounds in the NFL playoffs. That's literally 7 rounds of eliminations you avoided. By the time you're even competing, there's only 16 people left. So the higher rank you finish in wins and losses, the better opportunities you have to stay on the board and remain on the board. So, yeah, good luck to you guys. I'm going to head on out and I'm going to get some sleep. I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Peace.